hello. This is Frida Liu, and you're watching The Shift. And of course, what we talk about sustainability in its many, many forms and how we all need to make a shift towards sustainability. So carbon emissions in Malaysia are divided into the following: 49.6% from electricity and heat production, 24.2% from manufacturing, industries and construction, 23.3% from transportation, and 2.9% from other sources, with the residential sector accounting for 37.3% emissions. So every year, billions of tons of goods are transported worldwide by ships, trucks, planes, and trains, and there's no wonder that freight transportation makes about 8% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Green logistics refers to all the initiatives taken by businesses to minimize the overall ecological impact of logistical activities and reducing carbon footprint and ecological wastage in all activities of forward and reverse flows of products. PKT Logistics Group provides logistics services by utilizing local human resources, building environmentally friendly warehouses, open engagement with the communities, and has a sustainability agenda. I know they've been on this journey for a long time now and definitely changing the face of logistics. I'm here with Dato Seri Doctor, because he's got a lot of doctors, Michael Tio, the Group Chief Executive and Managing Director, to talk more about its ESG efforts. And welcome, Dato. And
good morning, Frida.
I've known you for a long time, and this a lot of things that you're doing actually is around ESG, even before there was a name to it, right? Before we get into the ESG and what you're doing, when did you get started on this journey?
Well, we've been growing over the period of from year 2000 until the year 2008, and we found that we are always focusing on local logistics customers, local services for local manufacturers. So we want to move away from local manufacturer to MNCs.
Right.
So when we did the study, we asked the question, why does the MNCs only give back the logistics service to the MNC logistics service provider, big brands, you know, like DHL, Schenker, all these things. Yeah. So we did a study and we found that one of the issues that they are looking at is not only talking about time to market, which is the JIT and whatnot. You know, Malaysian style JIT is not norm at that time.
Right.
Where when the customer asks you to deliver 11 o'clock, you deliver 1 p.m. And then you give them a lot of excuses. But MNC customer will actually punish you. This is downtime and will charge you downtime charges. But Malaysian, we cannot accept that kind of downtime charges because our service is very cheap. Right. So they think like that. So MNC expect us to be on time. Beside that, the other thing that they are looking at is environmental. So actually, local logistics player, in fact, have no regards for environmental. If they were to have 1,000, we always say that if you have 100,000 square feet of land, they will build full 100,000 square feet of warehouse. They will not have space for even trees to grow or whatnot. Because why? They say that one doesn't make money. Okay. All right. So that is the kind of attitude they have. And then for also they expect us to be socially responsible. We call it corporate social responsibility. You must have CSR program, and no longer talking about just only paying money, but it must be sustainable as well. Right. So that is the kind of language that they are talking in the MNC level. So that is what we found out during that time in 2008 when we have a company transformation. Actually, we did this company transformation with top management of 20 of our top management. We gathered together and we brainstorm, we come up with a SWOT analysis. How can we penetrate into the segment that is dominated by the MNC logistics service provider? And these are the area that we should be focusing on.
But this was in 2008.
2008,
15 years ago.
Yes.
So they didn't have a name for it, but you're already moving in that direction.
We call it environmental. That falls under our CSR.
Okay.
CSR pillar. We have 4 CSR pillar, and one of them is environmental, and another one is sustainable CSR.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you already. So now logistics, of course, is part and parcel of your business. So let's talk about the E side of the business, right? And then we're talking about ways to reduce carbon emissions, whether it's reducing transportation distance, maybe even using EVs and all that, right? What are you doing in the area of E?
Okay. Basically, logistics, when you talk about environmental, we talk about 2 of our main core business. One is warehousing, and another one is transportation. So these are the one with the hardware that will will cross emission of carbon into the environment. Yes. So in terms of warehousing, so when we did the transformation back in 2008 and we start sitting down and brainstorm, what should we do? At that time, there's no ESG, we call it just to being socially responsible, so take care of the environment. So we actually appointed an architect that is very familiar with designing Japanese building for Japanese manufacturer. So therefore, the architect already understand the element of, we call it the natural lighting, natural ventilation in the warehouse. So then we appoint him, and then we start building our first warehouse, which is called the 𝗓𝗲. So in 2008, after we did the transformation, we decided to penetrate into the segment where the MNCs are. This is fast-moving consumer goods and F&B, food and beverage. So so we built green warehouse. So we start building the 𝗓𝗲, followed by the wave, and as we grow bigger, and then we built new warehouse, and all the warehouse specification improve. Natural lighting. At that time, we don't even know there is a GBI yet. There's no GBI yet when we built the wave. So by 2015, when we built the lighthouse, so we were told by the consultant we can actually score to become GBI certified. So at that time, the 2015, the lighthouse, we decided to go for GBI gold standard. So including rainwater harvesting. So that specification was added on into our specification in the year 2015 with the rainwater harvesting system that will be used in our toilet and also to flower, for our landscape, landscape use.
So what about the EV side or anything to reduce carbon emissions?
In terms of what you call EV side, of course, we convert all our forklift first to electric forklift. So inside the warehouse, I think quite normal now, not only us, you will see electric forklift that using electric vehicles. But then in terms of our office staff that come to work, yet they have, actually we have implemented it in our office environment. But because of the importance to understand that before we implement electric vehicle for all our staff, we need to actually do carpooling first. Because now we have 1,000 staff, probably we have about 80% staff driving to work. So 800 vehicles. So if we have, if we implement that every staff must convert their vehicle into electric vehicle, we need to have 800 charging stations. And the amount of electricity used will be tremendous as well. So we need to start do carpooling first. Carpooling. So I think in terms of logistics operation, it's similar as well. What we do is we keep on practicing lean management. When we practice lean management to reduce the number of movement in the warehouse so that we actually can utilize lesser electric forklift. So similarly for our officers as well, we will also do carpooling to reduce the number of cars coming to work, and then only we convert them into electric vehicles. So we need to do, we need to practice lean management before you implement electric vehicles. Otherwise, we don't have enough charging station for them. It'll be ridiculous. So in terms of trucking, similarly, our first step is actually to create efficiency. So before that, maybe you will do a delivery to the customer, one flow, and another truck will come and take their laden goods and export to send to the port. So there are two trips. We go one to deliver their raw material, and then the finished goods, another truck pick it up and then deliver to the port.
Okay.
But now, since the customer also understand the importance of ESG, before that we try to tell them, it's very inefficient, very expensive for us to deliver the raw material, and then you don't have a goods for us to deliver back to the port.
Right.
Some logistics, some manufacturer even give 2 contracts.
Okay.
1 contract for those who supply for inbound,
right,
to their factory, 1 contract for people to do outbound.
Wow.
So they are our competitors, so we will not share the resources.
Right.
Now they understand the importance of ESG. They also now talking about having the same logistics service provider for in and out, so that we can send the raw material to them and pick up the finished goods and deliver to the port. So we reduce the trade by half.
Right. Okay. So something as simple as that, right?
Yeah. If you don't practice lean management, you cannot convert into electric yet.
Okay. Let's talk about S. I know you're very passionate about the many things that you do for the social side, right? Whether it's in employees and also the programs that you have, right? Maybe we can talk a little bit about what you're doing internally.
Yeah. So in terms of sustainable CSR, everyone talk about CSR. So a lot of entrepreneurs think that CSR is about giving money out to people and whatnot. So yes, giving money is good to charity organization and so forth. But then that is a misconception about CSR. So for us talking about sustainable CSR, we also focus on not giving money. So our philosophy is CSR is not about how you spend the profits, it's about how responsibly you make your profit. Okay. So of course, if you want to be responsible to the society surrounding you,
right,
first.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But before you do that, you also have to consider internal CSR.
Okay.
Yeah. Internal CSR means before you start giving to outsider, make sure that your staff, your employees are well taken care of first. So we do a lot of internal CSR where we help our employee in terms of their health, where we have gym in the office, we have company trips, management retreats. We have a lot of crazy ideas like gym a day off. The employee can go to the gym.
Right.
Then if they go to the gym for an hour, 12 times within the same month, they can redeem for 1 day off the next month.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so then they become healthy.
Yeah. Okay.
So when they are healthy, they are happy.
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
So that created our corporate culture. PKT is, corporate culture is 5H. Starting, we call it the sustainable work-life cycle.
Okay.
We call it sustainable work-life cycle. Starting from healthy, then you are happy. If you're happy, you will be honest.
Okay.
That's very important.
Right.
Once you are honest, you follow your KPI, you are very hardworking.
Okay.
All right. So when you are successful, don't forget to be humble.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that is how we created the sustainable work-life cycle.
You have a lot of programs with your community. So we move out, right? You have a lot of programs with
the community.
The community, the mothers, retirees.
Yeah. How the mother things come about is, you see, when we bought over that piece of land in Shah Alam, one logistics hub, we are surrounded by 5 kampungs.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 kampungs. So you can imagine you are building iconic building, not only just building, iconic. We call it the ship, the wave, and the lighthouse. So of course they will feel that, wow, this is a foreigner coming to our territory, and then therefore they build and they make money from us and whatnot. So we need to be socially responsible to them first. Don't go too far. Don't go and give money to oversee and all these other missions. Just focus on surrounding you, whether they need it or not.
Right.
Yeah. So we have 5 kampungs, and we find that a lot of their children start working for us, and then we say not enough. We are logistics company. We need a lot of employees, and we also decided to come up with a program called Anak Belajar Ibu Bekerja.
Yeah.
So that means the children will go to school 7:30 in the morning. We calculate all these things, and then they will normally go by motorcycles, drop their children, and then they will come to work at 8:30.
Okay.
And then it's a flexi working environment, working hour. Then they will finish working at 12:30, go back and pick up the children, and then take care of the children. Another shift of different
Afternoon class. Yeah.
afternoon class one, they will come at 1:30 and they finish at 5:30.
Right.
So this anak belajar ibu bekerja become very popular.
Right.
But in order for us to do that at the beginning, of course, a lot of entrepreneurs will find it, how are you going to get them to come? We make a lot of effort. We go to the surau, we meet up with their penghulu, go to the surau, talk to their imam, come up with a brochure explaining to them, because to them, for their wife to come to work is very unusual.
Right.
Yeah, but then again, we explain to them it's flexible only when in the afternoon or in the morning after the children go to school, so that they do not disrupt their day-to-day life as well.